and Deathmetal Dave.
You know, I have a copy right behind somebody.
Well, I mean,
Now we all just like, we're going to steal it. Oh, that's right there. Holy shit. It's definitely not an 8.5. It's,
it's bullshit. That's what it is.
It's only $20,000.
It's only
let me move my muscle, man. Fucking nerd ass Steve.
to get your
Get my $30,000 Nuki bitch.
Yeah, just sell that copy of Nuki.
This thing is like worth $10. Look at that thing. It looks like shit.
Oh man,
Just sell that, and for our next event, we'll have Steven Spielberg here.
Wait, are you serious? This is worth what?
it's not
Say that one more time,
It's not
Dave.
worth that much. Somebody's selling a graded at 8.5 on eBay for $80,000 of Nuki. And if you haven't seen this piece of shit,
I'm gonna put it right there and block my face from the camera because that's look at my new car.
I forgot how big those fucking ears are on those aliens.
Nuki. By the way, welcome to the Gore Club podcast. I'm Steve Vessel.
Deathmetal Dave.
I'm Ace.
But we're talking about what?
Yeah,
I
it's,
love this.
Found it.
So somebody found a copy of Nuki, had it graded, and now it's worth, or they want.
they want.
Okay, they don't mean shit to me, man. God, I'm gonna put it on top of my shitty copy of Crime Wave.
Yeah,
I didn't know how bad that movie was until I saw the DVD Blu-ray version of Crime Wave, and I was like, oh, this is what it's kind of supposed to be like.
Yeah, it's but Nuki is a new internet meme, so you get that meme money, Steve.
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
There's one on there for $41. It's got 16 bids. There's one.
They want to take it and resell it.
There's one for $2,500. It's got 25 bids.
Oh my god.
Man, memes are great. These are the same dumbasses that bought a bunch of fucking GameStop stocks and then lost all their money.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah. Hey, it's an Australian copy.
Well, so I guess we got together. And one thing, it's good to see everybody's faces. This is the first time in a while I've seen all three of your faces.
Yeah.
Yes,
Corey, Dave, and Ace. I'm
since,
Steve.
Since the Felissa Rose event.
Yeah, I know, but I'm on the podcast.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
in the studio.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Well, I mean, I did an episode with Ace. I did an episode with you, or maybe vice versa, whatever.
Yes.
And then we all worked together at the Felissa Rose event, which was a lot of fucking fun. And thank God Dave pretty much took over that for me as captain because whatever Dave Sheridan gave me from California is called THCO. Never heard of it before. It's legal, but it's psychedelic THC.
He told me it was like taking ecstasy. That's what he said. I was like, cool, so I'll be your handler tonight.
You were my handler, dude. 'Cause he would come to me, ask me questions. So I was like, whatever you want to do, Dave.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But that was a lot of fun. That was like the highlight of December for me, at least.
It was fun.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was great. Thank you all for all of y'all's help.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great.
Thank you to everybody that came out.
Yeah, you got to fucking wear the mask.
I did. I got to wear the original mask from Scary Movie.
God damn it.
And when he
What's up, mask?
the was up, man. And the worst part of it, I actually have a newfound respect for people that have to wear masks and act in that thing because I couldn't see shit the whole time doing the photo ops. He's like, lean in closer. All right, put your arm up. Come on, get in closer. Don't be scared. Get in closer. It's like, all right, I can't see anything, man.
Yeah.
So I didn't have my glasses on underneath of it either, so that made it 10 times worse.
I just didn't want you to knock over my my TV and all my VHS and all that shit that I had set up like in the corner.
Yeah.
You did great.
Yeah, I tried. He was putting the costume on me, and I was afraid to move. He's like, you could help yourself here, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could put my arms up like a toddler. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I went to grab that mask. I think I talked about it the last time we actually did an episode. It was like a real sculpted mask. It wasn't like a piece of like vinyl or like you could see the hand over the hand painted it because it's the first of its kind, and he still has it. And I was like, yeah, you can bring that. 'Cause he's like, yeah, I'm going to bring that if it's so cool. I was like, fuck yeah, you can. I'm a huge Scream fan, and that's a part of it.
Yeah.
God
Yes.
damn it.
Technically.
Whatever. I cradled that, and you were just like, you got to wear it and sweat in it.
Yeah, it smelled awful.
I went to go talk to you while you were up on the stage, and you were just covered in sweat.
Oh yeah, man. And then it was only up there for like what 30 minutes, something like that.
No, you were up there like, at least for like an hour and a half.
Oh, okay, whatever. I don't know.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time
Dave.
flies when I'm getting my picture taken with a bunch of strangers and they have no clue it's me.
I know.
I saw a bunch of pictures of people posting them on Facebook, and I just tagged myself in them. A couple people
And
I
I
did.
have no idea what's going on.
A couple of
It's
people
going
that don't
good.
even know me, that they didn't approve it. You know,
Oh.
like that was literal. That was me, guys. I don't.
Fuck, that was great. They had a good time, man.
No, good. We all had fun.
Yeah, I remember most
Some
of
more,
it.
some more than others. Too.
Yeah. I went to the hotel party afterwards. I didn't see you guys there. I was
Oh,
still
no.
ready to go.
Dude, I was tired. I worked all night.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I went home and ate some chicken nuggets.
I think I
I
had
was starving.
I think I had chicken nuggets too, as well, man. You know, eat like a toddler at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, I was like, I need something now to eat. Just put some chicken nuggets in the microwave.
Make some mac and cheese.
Yep.
Chicken nuggies. And then before that, we had the Louisville Krampus celebration, which is always a good year. This was a fucking blowout for us because we had Acid Witch headlining, and that was fucking great.
Yeah, they were good, man. They were fun. There were a lot of people there. There was a lot of
Magic,
lot
nudity.
a lot of magic nudity. I had to leave for a while. I wasn't there the whole time. I left. I missed the magic and the nudity.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. I wrote this whole like burlesque. In Louisville, we have this local troupe called the Vala Vixens, and they do this massive like Cirque du Soleil sort of like aerial events like annually throughout the year. And I was able to hire them, and I wrote them like a 30-minute script. And the whole thing was that Krampus was being overthrown by Mrs. Krampus, but he had no idea. So they infiltrate this slumber party because, you know, it's male fantasy bullshit. And it was
Yeah.
great because the women are like, oh, yeah, but the outcome is they get to tie him up, beat his ass, and take over.
Yeah.
I'm
And-
sad I missed it.
And they fucking nailed it. It was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Boobs.
And magic.
And magic. Yeah. Our own, like, Lance Burton, Richard Darshwood did 45 minutes of magic. It was really cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I realized I've known him for years, and we sometimes will play Magic the Gathering with each
Oh,
other.
that's
and,
funny.
And we'll do like booster drafts. And he said, you know, I don't cheat. I was because I thought about it. I was like, hey man, you're really good with cards. He's like, I always lose. Why would I? You know, I'm not cheating. So
Playing the long game.
yeah, he's playing the long game.
Yeah, but then we had Isolation Take Ensemble play, and then a goth. God, he's gotten so big here in the underground goth realm. Scary Black opened
Yeah.
the show, so that
I
was
guess if you're
great.
going to call it a scene and going to call it a realm and not a scene, that seems fitting for goth.
Yeah,
The-
well, I was trying to
realm.
I was trying to find an appropriate term, Dave.
Underground realm.
Yeah, the underground realm that is goth. I don't know. Ace, talk to me.
Oh.
He said, "Oh."
Oh,
I don't
Yeah.
know. We've seen so many movies. There's
Oh,
movies
yeah.
we haven't seen. There's
there's a lot of
books.
stuff that
There's,
happened.
dude, 2022. Yeah, I'm glad it's over. You know, a different number, different year.
Yeah.
Not really.
No, it's not.
I watched a lot of movies this year.
I
A
like
lot
your
of bad movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you love bad movies.
I do.
You know, surprisingly, this is what I've this is what I've learned being doing the podcast with you is you like worse movies than I do.
Yeah.
And
I
that's-
love trash, man.
Man, I thought I did. Holy fuck, you love some good shit.
Yeah.
Some good and shit.
Yeah. There was I'm probably the only one who I did make a list of like, I wouldn't say favorite movies, but movies I liked this year, and I did include Halloween Ends on that list.
You like that?
I did. I don't care.
I did too. I don't think Dave did, right?
I was happy it was over.
I had fun watching it.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was definitely better than the previous entry.
Oh yeah.
Nobody said evil dies tonight 20 times.
They tried to.
I had fun watching it, you know, and people were like, they're like, they ruined Michael Myers for me. I was a latchkey kid, and he basically raised me whenever my parents weren't home. And now this whole thing that was in my whole childhood has been ruined.
Yeah, those people never saw part 6.
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
that-
that's what I was like. Did you not watch any of the other movies? They're all terrible except the first one. And the third one's not even a Halloween movie.
And I think that's what was good about them trying to like equate those two movies. Like having
Yeah.
the titles for like Halloween 3. Like he knew he was going to get some backlash. He's not an idiot. He's a Halloween fan. He's
Yeah.
like, this one's going to be mine. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But you know what? I didn't hate it, but I get it why people did.
Yeah. Yeah, I get
I
it.
don't want to spend a whole lot of time because I feel like I did this whole
Oh,
episode.
yeah, we already did it. But
No. We did talk about it, but not everybody listens to our episodes. So that's funny.
Yeah.
You know, we have a new person going, oh, I kind of hate these guys now.
Yeah. Like those same people, they probably think like Halloween H2O is a good movie. Just because they remember from their childhood, and then like 20 years from now they'll make like another Halloween trilogy and then they'll be like, well, it's not as good as the one from my childhood,
Well, speaking
Same
of that,
thing.
I mean, we've got okay, when you did the Evil Dead remake, reboot, whatever you want to call it, people hated that, and I fucking thoroughly enjoyed that movie.
Well, those people don't know how to have fun.
That's what I say.
Was there a chainsaw?
Yes.
Was there blood? Were there deadites?
Dude.
Was there gore that made you a little squeamish? All right, now shut the fuck up.
I'd love to see Mia come back and do anything.
Well, I don't know if I'm trying to stay away from anything Evil Dead Rises. I'm gonna go see it. I don't need to see a trailer,
It looks amazing.
and I think she'll be in it. I think she
looks killer, dude.
Oh yeah, I watched that trailer. I don't know. I kind of dig anything that just takes place in an apartment building.
It's demons.
The
Demons,
Raid.
yeah, it's like
fucking
Demons too. Yeah.
Demons, The Raid, Judge Dredd,
Yeah.
all of them, classics.
No, it is demons too.
What was the second? The after Suspiria that takes place
Inferno.
Inferno takes place in an apartment building.
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly.
something about that. I was just like it all takes place in this one little building.
Not
Oh, I
enough
like
movies about apartment
apartment
complexes.
complexes.
I will say the reboot or whatever the fuck it is, the Evil Dead with Mia is the most serious Evil Dead that we've ever had. This one looks like it's going to be even further, like it's
Yeah.
even more graphic, even more like intense. They're trying to get that, at least from the trailer. I mean, it could be completely different
yeah.
because they did that with Evil Dead 2 a little bit. Like if you watch the old trailer and then you go see the movie, you're like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, the remake wasn't like ha ha ha.
No, man, there were scenes
at
in that
all.
movie I was like, oh, yeah, I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are the sounds you get when I'm happy. Ooh, yeah.
Well, I always like the first Evil Dead better, anyways, than the whole ha slapstick stuff. So
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, my
so-
favorite is the first one.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, and it's not supposed to be funny, but let's talk about 2022. Did anybody see Nope?
Yes,
What'd you think?
I thought it was good, man.
Yeah,
Sky Sharks.
it was different. Interesting. It was a different kind of sci-fi horror film.
It's like somebody made Sharknado, but they took out the sharks.
Jesus Christ. I thought it was not. I didn't think it was the best of his movies so far, but he was also trying to do something different, and I appreciate him trying to do something different.
Yes,
I
and
try, anybody.
the acting was good. The
Oh God, the acting's great,
everything,
man.
everything about that movie.
Anything
was
Keith
really
David
good.
does, I'm happy.
Yeah, he was. He
barely in
He
it.
was in it for a little bit, but yeah, that movie was good. I thought it was pretty original because I didn't know what the hell I was looking for when I saw the movie. It was another one of those like I'll watch it. I don't watch the trailer. So when I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I need to be more like
What the
that.
fuck is that?
Yeah.
Who is this guy? Is that the guy from The Crow? Why
It
is he
is.
why is he so chill now?
It's fucking it's top dollar. His character was my favorite character, and then come on, go see the movie. But I mean, when he dies, I was just like, fuck. That was the only thing I thought was kind of pointless until my rewatch, and I was like, oh, it wasn't about like him trying to like to record this in a good way and for posterity. He did it for himself. He was trying to get the perfect shot. That's all he had. So when he got that shot from the inside of the goddamn monster, that was it. He's happy, and then he died.
That's how Werner Herzog's gonna die.
Goddamn, yeah, Grizzly Man 4.
I still need to watch Nope because I never watched Us either. And I liked his first movie, but I was afraid that he would have like the curse of like the M. Night Shyamalan curse of having a really great first movie and never being able to follow it up.
I love Unbreakable, man.
Every time I hear about movies that he's done, that the director's done since then,
that sophomore
people
effort.
have been like divisive about it. Where it's like, it's good, it's not good. I don't know. Like Jordan Peele, like, so maybe I just need to go back and watch them and think for myself. But
Just
and
watch
Nope.
him, don't care.
Well, Nope, and if you're gonna like connect those two filmmakers, Nope is kind of that. It gets better on repeat viewings because you get to see everything that you missed.
yeah,
Like, oh, that cloud. Oh, this thing. Oh, the scissors from Us is in it. I mean, all these little things. And then, well, fuck it. Since you haven't seen it, I really don't want to spoil it. Fuck, because it's one of those Easter egg filled movies. He did that with Us. People either liked Us, and that's kind of cool. Either you like it or you hate it.
yeah,
There's no middle ground, and he's still doing well, and he's still making movies. So
yeah.
I'm happy for him, man.
Oh yeah, Yeah, I don't think he probably definitely doesn't have that M Night curse.
No, and
'Cause-
I don't think so. He's been doing movies and TV shows, and I mean, I love his comedy. I like almost anything he's ever done.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of, and no,
he definitely did the best rendition of the pitch from Gremlins 2.
Yes.
somebody sent me that. We showed that a couple weeks ago at the Gore Club,
It's so
and
good.
somebody was like, "Did you see that?" I was like, "No, man, I'm a busy
Like, what if
fuckface."
it was a sexy Gremlin?
Right. He walks in and goes, "No, let's do this." I was
You,
like,
what
"Oh,
do you want?
This is perfect." And that guy, I mean, what's his face is playing Joe Dante pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So we talked about remakes for a second. The new Hellraiser movie.
I still haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've already ranted about this one.
No,
I
it's
watched
great.
it.
It's great because everybody has been giving me all kinds of hate. I'm like, dude, you have no idea how busy I've been.
Yeah, you just need to watch it. That was an excellent one. 'Cause
That's the goal for January, is to sit down and watch every fucking thing I missed in 2022.
I've been trying to do that. Like this month, I've been trying to go through and like see things that I missed. Like the other night, I watched The Menu, and it's like an A24 movie, just a little less pretentious somehow.
I love the cast.
It very much reminds me of Midsummer, and that's all I'm gonna say. Like it's got
down.
that feel to it. But like I said, it's somehow less pretentious A24, even though it's pretentious as fuck.
Damn.
But it's still fun. I'd still enjoyed it. I know nothing about fine dining. The whole time I'm just watching it and be like, man, can't you give them some food? They're paying a lot of money for this non-food thing.
I don't know. There's a lot of movies I didn't see. I mean, like I said, people send me links and they'll send me their own movies. They'll send me Kickstarter things. I'm just like, this is great. I'm gonna put that on the stack of magazines I got next to the bed that I have not been able to watch. So
Well, there's
I am full of shame in this episode. Like 2022, Steve, you suck.
that Studio 666 came out this year.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters movie. and
Surprisingly.
it kind of got like overshadowed by their drummer's death, rightfully so. Because
Yeah.
it came out and then it was like right after that. It felt like, and then the movie just kind of got forgot about. But it was actually a really good movie. I had a lot of fun watching it, and I was laughing a lot.
Yeah.
And see, I've heard that from a lot of people, man. But I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't watched it. It's on my to watch list. I set up a list on.
We should sit down and just get fucked up and watch movies.
Well, I set up a list of movies that I want to watch, and I put in like alerts when they go on sale on
Yeah.
Amazon,
Oh,
or I'll
okay,
just
yeah.
put them in my cart and be like, all right, it's $10. Like the other day, I bought Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is an excellent movie. If you haven't seen it, not really horror, but yeah, there's some creepy factors to it. And then that Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, the Nicolas Cage masterpiece.
Yeah.
Masterpiece.
I think I love him. I don't care, dude. He could shit in a bowl and I'd feed it to my kids, I guess. I don't know.
Well,
Wait, that's really dark. Delete that. I didn't say that. But you know what I'm saying. Do you understand? Okay, maybe
Yeah.
not.
I don't. Moving on.
Did anybody see Smile? Did you see X, Pearl?
I did. I've seen Smile and X.
What'd you think of Smile?
It was a lot of jump scares. Like the whole.
That's what I've heard.
So
the,
what?
Well, I mean, I like atmosphere in horror films.
I
Like
think it had both.
it somewhat, yeah, maybe. It did remind me a little bit of It Follows, but I'm sure It Follows ripped something else off, right? You
Yeah,
got this,
somebody. That's been the number one thing.
you know, somebody always is going to come back with this other
Yeah.
idea or steal it somewhat. But
It's no Terrifier 2. I'm like, Terrifier 2 is as original as a fucking orange next to an orange.
Yeah.
but
But it's fucking amazing to watch.
I did watch Smile.
Terrified too.
It is something that you should watch, but you know, am I going to watch it again? Probably not.
Yeah, it was definitely, and it follows sort of a genre. Like it's created its own genre. Whether its follow is based off of whatever he liked when he made that movie. As soon as I started watching Smile, I was like, oh, this is going to be like that movie. Okay, I like slasher movies. It's a whole fucking subgenre.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
Spooky stuff.
I don't like Fright Night because it's just like The Howling.
Yeah.
You know, it's a fucking horror comedy, mother flip flops.
yeah. I like both X and Pearl.
Yeah.
I thought
We talked about that a little bit.
yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
I still haven't seen Pearl. I've seen X.
Pearl was really good, and like I said earlier, like I kind of was like so about it until you get to the end of the movie, and there's like this big long speech she gives.
Okay, well, don't ruin
And,
this one.
yeah,
for
no,
me.
I'm not gonna.
It's on my
ruin it.
list.
But yeah, at the end of it, I was like, shoot, man, that's fucking really good. And like the end of it really stuck with me, and I thought about it for a long time. And I was like, yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah. Firestarter.
Didn't watch it.
I just heard that was terrible. I didn't
Not even interested.
It was just so much money and so much talent, and it just sort of fell flat because they try to do different things and bring different. Like, I can see what they wanted. I hate that. I hate when I can see what they were trying to do. I'm trying to be more understanding instead of just enjoying the ride. That's the best way I can explain that movie. It's like it was really unneeded movie. It was it didn't need to happen.
I don't think there's any like nostalgia for the original Firestarter,
That's not a good movie.
and it's not even that good. I bought a copy of it on VHS this year though, so that was a good thing.
It'll be no. I mean, okay, it was good for its time, and even then, it wasn't great.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I don't know. I mean, I like George C. Scott, and I like Drew Barrymore, and
Yeah.
I like David Keith.
yeah,
The opposite of Keith David. But I like everybody, and I remember like having all these great memories of it, and then I rewatched it as an adult. It's kind of like Children of the Corn. It's like it's okay, it's good.
yeah.
But I think it was because it was original for its time, so it made it like more like special. But
I can only imagine
it's not a great movie. It's not well made.
I can only imagine the remake has so much CGI fire in it.
Yeah.
that it would just ruin it for
And
me.
that was on like Paramount, right? They made it directly for.
I think so.
Oh, was it?
Paramount,
Paramount Plus or whatever it's
Peacock,
called?
one of them, because they also did that Orphan First Kill, which
yeah.
is the sequel to Orphan.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, I
I
heard it was
dug it.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I dug it, man. I thought it was well done. It was weird that like they cast the same lady, and you know you sort of
like
see some
10
of the
years
behind the scenes stuff. And,
Yeah.
like, she's just on her knees wobbling around. You know,
Don't do that,
forced perspective.
Yeah.
little Dave.
Peter
Yeah, that's good.
Jackson. But other streaming movies, one that I really enjoyed, Prey.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Predator,
that was
the
fun.
Predator sequel. And they said if it bleeds, we can kill it. I think I fucking threw my popcorn. It's like, yeah.
my only
dog
complaint
was
about it.
happy.
My only complaint about it while I was watching it was also at the end of the movie, it tells you can also watch it in the native language. So I was like, oh, well, there goes my one complaint out the window. Because I was like, why are all these fucking Native Americans speaking English?
Yeah, and that was a really cool thing
yeah,
they did.
But at the end of it, it was like, you can also watch it in this. And I was like, well, shit, if I knew that, I would watch the whole movie in that. That would have been way better.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, that's more of an 80s thing. Like, everybody's speaking English no matter what. Like,
Yeah.
why is all these people just speaking English?
Yeah, like I get it. Like Americans are dumb. Nobody wants to read subtitles.
Yeah.
So, you got to dumb it down for everybody.
I don't know, man. I've seen really bad accents, so I'll take whatever. And like, oh, that's not a really good dialect. It's just, fuck it, who cares?
Yeah.
But I really loved Prey. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
It
I
was-
saw a review the other day. Somebody hated it.
I've seen people post about how they didn't like it. And I'm like, what do you want?
What do you
Like,
want?
what do you want?
Come on.
You're never going to be happy. Just watch the first one again. Like, God, let's just.
Well, I mean, doing what we do, we deal with a lot of people who are very into their genre or
Yeah.
they're into their decade.
Yeah.
I'm on pages. It's like the 80s is the greatest. That's the name of the page. Like the 80s is the greatest horror genre decade of the year of
Yeah.
ever or whatever. And I can't remember. I'm not actually going to tell you what it is because I don't want to shit on them. But I'm on that page because I love the 80s. But like, I mean, come on, man. I think right now we're in the golden age of horror. Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of
it's
good horror movies
It's
coming
insane. For the amount of shit that comes out, there's so much good stuff.
And you got to
Yeah.
think about the box offices too. Like Terrifier 2 made lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
that's a good thing.
those
'cause
dudes
they'll
have been-
keep making more horror movies
Yeah,
like that.
Those dudes peddled the first movie at conventions for years.
Yeah.
And years.
Well, what's the original one? The All Hallows Eve.
All Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, when Terrifier, you can go to any convention, any horror hound convention, and those guys were always there. They had a table, they were selling their movies.
Hardcore dudes, man.
Yeah.
Kick ass
And-
nerds. I love them.
Fucking A for them, man. I'm
Yeah.
proud of them. That's awesome when you can see something like that happen. And this happened with, like the Blair Witch, not that they're any related in any way
But
or
the hard
type of-
work.
but
Yeah.
they put in the hard work and then
Yeah.
they did it, and then you got all these other horror films. So these indie horror films that are starting to come up that have come out this year that have made money have proven that the genre is worth something. So I'm excited to see where they go from here.
Yeah, it lets the studios or now the streaming apps will give money to whomever, or at least maybe even buy their product.
Yeah, and like last year we got a new Scream movie.
Yeah, and we have another one coming out. What, in April?
Yes.
Or no,
Getting
March.
Ghostface Takes Manhattan comes out this year.
Yes.
Ghostface Rise.
My hopes for that movie I just hope it's like as
They drown 'em?
dumb as I think it's gonna be.
You know, we're
Like-
gonna do another episode.
Yeah, I want it to be so dumb, like he's just like going through New York, and they're just like, they're just like the Big Apple, and it's like puns about New York, and he's just like calling people on like phone booths and stuff. Like, I hope it's just so stupid, and like Scream fans will get so mad about it.
I didn't know you were gonna pull out a phone booth. Sorry, that was like a cough plus a.
Yeah.
Where'd he call from?
laugh.
A phone booth. There's only 2 in the city.
Yeah,
Oh my god!
I just like people that love Scream, like you've ruined my childhood.
It's like, hello, Sydney. She's not in this movie, you fuckface. Oh shit, who is this? Yeah. Oh man, wow. You know, we're gonna have a whole other episode on that movie, and we're gonna have to invite Nate back onto the
Yeah.
show.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's listening to a Bluetooth speaker, and like Ghostface walks by and kicks it over.
For like like Jason Takes Manhattan.
I hope that
A
happens.
bunch of New York hipster kids are like listening to their Bluetooth speaker on the sidewalk.
Yeah. So I mean, what is this generation's punks listening to? Like, I don't
They're
know.
listening to Turnstile, and then he's like, "Get off the sidewalk."
Jesus Christ. Let's see. Did anybody see the Terror Train remake?
No.
Okay.
not.
You know I did because I love Terror Train. So I know they made part 2, which just
I
came
saw
out.
that part 2 come out, and I thought that was the remake. And I was like,
No.
"Was it 2 or was it a remake?"
So what they've done, most people know, but they've taken the Terror Train and they moved it to Halloween. So they took a New Year's Eve horror slasher film, which is kind of rare, and just lumped it back with the Halloween slasher films. I'm like,
Yeah.
wow, okay, well that was strike one for me. But I went and I watched it. It was on Shudder, not Shudder. Was it Tubi? I think it was
Was it?
actually a Tubi original.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
they're
for
actually
Tubi.
they're actually doing originals now,
nice.
which is great because we've been sucking their dick for years.
Yeah,
And we love Tubi. And blah, 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 blah.
I know.
Sorry about that.
I wish Tubi existed like when I was like broke and didn't have cable and back in the day and like in college, like I would just like I was like there's so much stuff on Tubi I could have watched if
It's
but then
amazing.
I wouldn't have had the fucking internet to fucking stream it, so it didn't matter anyways. So
But now they're putting out product, and so I mean it's a good. It's some of those scenes are shot for shot. I don't know what to say about it. It's not awful. I didn't hate it when I was done with it. I was like, okay, you know how much I love the original. It's not just didn't destroy my movie.
yeah,
It just the thing that sucked. I thought that they took a lot of the originality out of it. Was one, they took it away from New Year's Eve, and 2, he just wears the same mask. That's kind of a bummer.
Nice,
Like,
yes.
what's the fucking
Yeah.
like that was
And no magicians.
well the cover
No.
has yeah Tubi original. The cover has this big giant like Pennywise looking clown on it. So
that's the killer. Yeah,
that's kind of a turn
Spoiler.
off for me right now.
Yeah.
yeah. And then I have not seen part 2, so I'm actually interested to see it.
Speaking of holiday horror films,
Oh boy,
Violent Night.
I loved it.
My
Not
new-
a horror movie at all. But I don't give a fuck.
I mean, it's sick.
That's like us talking about Machete, the movie. It's not a horror movie, but it's in our genre. It's
But
what we
I'll
like.
tell you what, man, it's in the rotation now every year.
Oh, yeah.
It was one of those things. Like I knew I wouldn't be able to get out the theater, but I was like, I'm in the Christmas spirit. Let's buy Violent Night on demand. So I did it and added it to my library, and I've watched it 3 times since.
Yeah, it's great.
It's so good. I
Nice.
should be watching something else, but I'm
I
just
saw
like,
it opening night.
It was good.
Yeah.
It literally, and it's so self-aware that it's Die Hard with Santa Claus.
It's Die Hard 2.
Yes, he's the walkie-talkies and everything.
The I mean, go see the fucking movie, but it's the where you think the good guys are the good guys and they're not the bad guys. It's Die Hard 2 and Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's so good, and it's John Leguizamo who's in Die Hard 2.
And The Pest.
Pest.
Does anybody you remember that fucking movie?
Yes.
The Pest.
I just remember the cover.
He was
of the
also
box.
in The Menu, John Leguizamo. He's making a comeback.
Good. He needs to, man. He did a stand up years ago. God damn.
And maybe we'll get that
15
Pest-
years ago, he
we'll
was
get that-
amazing.
We'll get that Pest sequel.
No, please.
too.
I saw that on Showtime one night. I was like, oh, I like this guy. He's funny. And that movie was awful.
I just want to see him if they ever do another Spawn movie. He needs to be in that again.
He needs to be the star.
I'm the Violator.
It's the best thing in the movie.
Yeah,
is
the
the
makeup
fucking
on that.
clown violator version. Yeah.
Yeah, the makeup and him in that suit is amazing.
He said he punished his body for that role. He didn't
Yeah.
know how bad it was going to be, but
Yeah,
Like-
it's the best part of the movie.
I love it.
Next to that killer soundtrack.
Oh, we talked about that on one of our soundtrack episodes. What else do we have? I mean, I'm
I
going through.
watched Bodies, Bodies, Bodies.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Still want
That
to
was-
watch that.
That I kind of like while I was watching it, I was kind of like, man, I hate these people in this movie because it's a bunch of like snooty rich kids hanging out in this big mansion, like trying to ride out a hurricane. You know, it's got Pete
sounds cool.
Davidson.
Oh, really?
But Pete Davidson plays like the guy who owns it's his parents' mansion. But like the more I think about it, it actually wasn't bad. It's an A24 movie. But the game is based on Bodies is a game they play. So, and it's kind of like a murder mystery thing, and people actually start getting murdered, and it's kind of a whodunit. And then at the end of it, there's like a little twist, you know, and it turned out not bad. But you just have to kind of like suffer through a lot of these, like, you know, snooty rich kids. Just, I'm so my problems, you know, like
Everybody has problems.
It's one that I want to see. So,
but you should definitely watch it. It's really, I thought it was pretty good actually.
It looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I did watch the trailer for that one because I was on the fence, but I need to watch it.
It's definitely worth a watch.
Yeah, I looked through this list now. Yeah, as I'm looking at this list, there's just so many movies I actually am more interested in seeing now than when they were announced. Like, I want to go see I want to see Bring It On, the Cheer or Die version. Like,
I saw that on a list and I was like, what the fuck?
they've decided to make a horror version of Bring It On.
I tell you what, this is the one movie that surprised me the most this year, and it was out of nowhere, was Dark Glasses.
Was that good? I have that on my list, but I'm like so like.
Well, there was a secret movie on Shudder that like, hey, we're putting this out, and it's a Dario Argento film.
Shut the fuck up! How did I miss this thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm a bad
I just
horror
remember turning it on like 5 minutes late, and I'm like, what is this? And I look, press the button to see what the movie is. It's like Dark Glasses. Holy shit! This is like some old Dario. It's like a lost film almost for Dario Argento, but it's good.
Okay, good. That makes me happy because I was going to do an episode on him just one night by myself, and I didn't get around to it, but that's good because God, he needs to make a fucking movie. That
What was his last one? Dracula, whatever.
3D.
God, that movie was a piece of shit.
he was so he came out against people who didn't like it and said they didn't get it, and I'm like, man, this isn't like Oliver Stone talking about natural born killers, man. This is Rutger Hauer looking like he's made with like a DSLR camera.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing?
A very cartoonish praying mantis that like bites somebody's head off.
Oh, so bad. Yeah, I mean, you're the master of light and mood, and this movie had none of that.
And his daughter's naked in it that he directed too.
Oh, again?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's not weird at all.
No, I think that's been
At
documented.
this point,
Maybe
it's
that's an
not
Italian
weird.
thing.
Why
No,
not?
nobody threw a cat. Nobody threw a cat.
No, there's no cat throwers
Oh,
in this
good.
Dario movie. We talked about the Munsters. I know we did like a whole episode on that. At least I did with Chris Johnson was our guest.
Yeah, we could talk about horrible things like Morbius.
Morbius, Morbin time.
Morbin time. Oh man.
Speaking of memes,
That VHS 99.
see,
Yeah, you didn't like that, dude.
I still haven't
You
seen
I
it.
watched it. I like the VHS movies. The viral one, not so great. 1 and 2. I like the last one they did, the 84.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah. VHS 99. Maybe it's because like I was a teenager in 1999 that I'm watching it and I'm like, God, I get it, man. It's the fucking 90s. Like, stop making 90s references in this movie. Like, they're just like every other sentence is a
You think that's how your parents felt when they watched Grease?
Yeah, that's just probably, yeah. But I'm just like, God, we get it. It's the 90s. But I told my wife we were watching it, and I was like, the most unbelievable aspect of this movie is that girl's eyebrows are that thick in 1999. She was like, yeah, girls' eyebrows didn't look like that in 1999.
Yeah, that's not how it was.
I was like, I'm taking it out of it.
What's the one I was just thinking about? Fuck.
Don't know that one.
No, not. It was. Well, I was going to talk about like they, them, and all that crap, but I mean, I didn't like that movie. I was surprisingly not.
I was
going to
watch that because I was like, oh, Kevin Bacon.
It's
and I heard
yeah.
everything I read
even
about
if
it
it got
was
bad
terrible.
reviews, I don't give a shit. I'm going to dive into it, and it just wasn't my thing. I'll tell you one that I did enjoy that did get. I thought it got overhyped, and then when I saw it, I was like, okay, now it's Barbarian. That's on like so many number one. Like, oh, it's my top. I don't think it's that fucking great.
Oh, I liked it a lot.
That's a
I
movie
did like it a lot.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say. Is like,
Yeah.
that was one that I was like, oh, this is actually fucking. This meets the hype.
Yeah.
It was good, but it's just a movie. It was just bad decisions everywhere.
God,
It's just like you make one good decision in this movie, it's over in 10 minutes.
Yeah, and there's definitely like there's a sense of dread while you're watching it because you're like, oh God, what is in this room? And then you're feeling this whole sense of dread, and then all of a sudden, like Justin Long shows up, and he's like, oh sweet, look at this, and he's just like so happy, and you're like, oh man, like one person's nightmare is another person's like dream come true. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I like that aspect of it.
yeah, his character was very close to like when he was in Tusk. He was like
Yeah.
despicable,
Yeah,
and he plays that role really well.
yeah. I saw him at a bar here in Louisville one time,
Yeah, it
just
was-
hanging out at Mag Bar.
Yeah, well, he was hanging out at the bar that I ran for a while. He was playing video games. We have one video game in the corner, and there was a friend of ours who was just drunk off his ass, and the owner was with me, and he was just like, just leave him alone, man. Just leave him alone. He's like, I can't. I just can't. And he ran right over to him and just drove him out of the bar. I'm
Yeah.
like, good job.
Yeah,
Way to go.
He just wants to hang out in a little bitty dive bar and be left alone.
yeah.
It's weird, but yeah, no, Barbarian. I enjoyed it. In the when I hate when people make stupid decisions, and just the lead character, she just keeps being like ignorant. Like, why? Just leave this motherfucker. He
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit about you. But it's her character that you realize that she's just that way to a fault.
Yeah.
And once they explained that, I was like, okay, because I was like, why are you? We're so past writing these idiot characters.
Yeah.
And she's not an idiot. She's just got a big heart. And now I'm an idiot because I'm fucking shaming her for it.
Yeah.
Being nice.
Well, we were watching it, and I told my wife, I was like, why don't you just, like, call the cops? Like, I know the cops suck, and they're probably not going to do that. They could at least, like, she could be like, look, inside here, there's a crime. You could solve it. And, like, literally, and then she actually calls the cops, and you're just like, oh, man, these cops really suck. Like, they
Yeah.
suck bad.
And that's another movie I think we've glossed over before. Not glossed over. We talked about. I can't speak tonight. Hey,
Yeah.
who knew? I don't know. What's good?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre had
I knew you
another
were going to
movie
bring it
come out
up.
this
I knew you
year.
were going to bring it up. I was trying to I literally just swiped right by it on my screen.
Francis 2.0.
Yeah.
She has the same haircut.
Oh, that's great. Oh,
She has the same haircut.
I'm going to tell John Dugan you said that. He's going to love it.
But yeah, it wasn't bad. It
It
wasn't.
wasn't horror. Yeah,
People-
I didn't hate it. It was just like, it wasn't great.
I didn't expect anything from Netflix. I just like, all right, well, they put out this movie that they shot in like
Yeah.
The bus scene was
short
good.
amount of time.
See, I hated the bus scene.
That's the only part I liked
Oh
a
man,
lot.
you weren't cheering when he was just fucking wrecking people.
Okay, I was mad when it happened, and then as he was doing it, I got that part. But I just, I fucking hated that. I hate when they. I went over this before on the podcast. It's like everything that they tried to make more like today, I didn't like.
Yeah,
Like how they're talking to him and like being his face. I was like, come on, man.
I just like
If you're trying to be meta or even trying to be in the now, dude, like you're not going to sit there and just make fun of the serial killer as he's walking on the bus to kill everybody.
Yeah, and he's just sawing up influencers.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like, I like that
get
part.
what you're trying to say. I just didn't like the movie, man.
Smash like and subscribe in my guts. Ugh.
I was trying, like when he
Was
pulls
he at-
out the saw from the wall and it works. It's
Yeah, I wrote
like,
that down.
that's
'cause I
like
think we
there's
brought
like
that up.
dust in that fucking thing. There's no gas. You gonna die with it?
Come
Oh,
on,
no, I'm
Steve.
just talking
No, man.
about.
And I sent a message to my friend Fred Vogel, who's the director of the August Underground films. If you know those crazy fucking films, he owns a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and one of his good friends before he died was Gunnar Hansen. But that is because the lime green chainsaw from the original, which you guys know I own
Yeah.
one. I was like, they finally got it right. It's
Yeah.
not fucking yellow. Yay! Okay, that's what I was happy about. I thought the Sally Hardesty character was a waste.
I think some people thought that was the actual actress from the first movie.
What?
I'm pretty sure I heard somebody post it was like, it was really cool. They got the actress.
Pretty
from the
sure
first
she's
movie.
fucking
Like
dead.
she died. I was
Yeah,
like-
she's dead. A lot of people are dead, man.
yeah.
Rest in pictures, people.
But he kept that chainsaw on the wall full of gas and oil and had oil on the bar. Just ready to use.
it was great.
You never
20
know,
years
man.
later.
There's no common sense in that film, including the writing. Like none of the characters, including it was bad.
It seemed like it was thrown together really quick, and when I looked it up, it was filmed in like
It was shot in like 20
Kazakhstan
days
or something.
like
Like,
that.
yeah.
It was very quick.
Yeah.
It was written and shot very quick. It was a cash grab,
yeah.
but didn't have a.
I liked it better
problem with
than it was better than the last one. What was it? Was it
Dude.
the 3D one?
Chainsaw 3D.
Yes, it's the one
That
where she
movie-
inherits the house.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
movie
it has
is
a good beginning and then it just goes to hell.
Yeah, the beginning was I was like, oh, this could be good. I was like, and I was just like angry. I was like, this movie is a piece of shit. And then she says, "Get him, cuz," and I'm like flipping a table over. It was so bad.
Speaking of cash
You're
grabs,
not even old enough.
Yeah.
Like you would be my age if you were born when that happened.
Yeah.
What reality is this movie supposed to be in?
Nobody believes that Alexandria Daddario is going to call anybody cuz either.
But I like that they got Bill Moseley come back and play the cook. You
Yeah.
know, I loved the beginning was great, and then yeah, okay.
Did
Dave, please save
anybody
us.
see?
Get us out of here?
Did anybody ever see Jeepers Creepers Reborn?
No, but I did bring a friend on to the podcast, and he talked about how much of a travesty that movie is.
Oh, good.
Please
Glad-
do, Dave.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
God damn.
I was
didn't
just
watch it.
curious.
Yeah.
I remember Horror Hound was really like, hey, it's they kind of like put us in the movie and then they just stopped talking about it because they went and saw it. Like fuck.
Yeah, Victor Salva wasn't connected. to
No.
this one at all,
And
and that's
That
the
was their
shame.
big selling point. It was like, Victor Salva's not in it. Everybody watch it.
Or not for me it was having fans make a movie of a franchise they like. I was like, oh, they got the rights, they were able to make this thing, it's gonna
Yeah.
be great. Man, they should have hired somebody who can make a movie.
yeah.
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 That's
And you like trash, so I don't want to hear it, Ace.
I saw the original one in the theater. And
great,
it was like, yeah, I thought it was a good movie. Then I was like, looked up a bunch of stuff about him, and I was like, ooh, I can never watch these movies again.
Yeah, like watch Powder back. Oh my god.
Yeah, God.
Let's not talk about that. But Ace is probably he saw. Did you see Spirit Halloween? The Spirit
I did
Halloween
not
movie.
watch that. I don't go to Spirit Halloween because I don't like chain stores that like dumb down Halloween.
The Walmart of Halloween.
Yeah.
They have cool stuff if you can get there, like in September.
Yeah. Yeah. If you get there the day they open.
so fast.
Yeah, there were a lot of good ones on here that I just didn't either get to see or I don't remember what I would have watched. Over
This
the
is the
years.
saddest episode of like 2022.
It's just like
No, it's fine.
I didn't see it. Well, I mean,
I watched a lot of movies.
also
I
we
watched
did a
a
lot
lot
of
of
we
movies.
we were us as a collective, the Gore Club. We were fucking busy, man. We had Joe Bob. We had fucking Felissa Rose. We did Krampus. I did Plunder of Louisville. Every weekend is an event. We've got Stabathon coming up. That looks like it's going to be huge for us.
I think that
The Evil Dead Bash is coming up. I mean,
Yeah.
sorry guys, I'm a busy guy.
I think it speaks to how good like the horror movies coming out now are is the fact that you can in 2022 you can talk this long about how many horror movies came out that you like because we've talked more about stuff that we like. Actually, I've never had this many horror movies come out in 1 year that I like that much. As far as like new movies coming out,
That says a lot.
and that says a lot because most time if anything's new, I'm always like, oh god, there's gonna be like a remake of something I don't like, and I'm not gonna watch it. But I watched a lot of stuff this year that I actually liked. And I think that speaks to a lot is the fact that we didn't have enough time to watch all the good movies. When some years it's like there were only like 3 good movies, you know.
Yeah. Well, okay. Name your favorite, or give us a little more off your list then.
One of mine.
Take the wheel, Ace.
I did put Mad God on here
Yeah.
as one that was good.
Yeah, good.
I have that Christmas Bloody Christmas, which we talked about.
I was surprised about that one too. Dave, did you get a
I
chance to see
did
that?
not like it.
Yeah, some people didn't. They
The
equated
lighting-
it to like a Rob Zombie movie, but I didn't see that at
The
all.
lighting was shit.
Oh, I
like
loved it.
every room looked the same. It all had the same lighting.
Oh yeah, it was all
And
neon.
and like it just looked awful, man. Like I'm watching it on my TV, and it's just like I think the part
Go
that
ahead.
pissed me off the most
What
is
did?
when they're walking down the street and they're like fucking music nerds, and then they fucking besmirch Lemmy's name on his goddamn birthday.
See, I liked their characters. I was surprised because a friend of ours was like just going off like, "Oh, this is a Rob Zombie movie. They've said fuck more than anything else." Like, yeah, but they didn't annoy the shit out of me.
Their
She
conversations.
knew her shit. Actually, the character did.
Their conversations were annoying. If I was at a bar and I overheard those people, I would leave. I'd hope they get fucking murdered.
Damn, Dave.
And then the one
I've
guy,
been caught in conversations with people like that just because of like the way I'm dressed. And they're just like, listen here, I'm going to quiz your knowledge of heavy metal music, brother. And I'm just like, get the fuck out of my face.
just answer everything with Dawkin.
Yeah.
Oh man, shit! I'm a Keel fan. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't even finish the movie. It was just like,
Oh, you missed all the best parts. They're at the end. Yeah.
dude,
I liked it.
I might go back and finish it one day, but the night we were watching it, it didn't. It was just like, this movie, I'm not. I think I've got like 30 minutes left,
Yeah.
and we were just like, let's just watch Violent Night instead.
Well,
and that was a good
that's different,
choice.
Yeah. Okay, here's the thing that I've noticed a lot over the last fucking decade is that when I watch a movie at the Gore Club with 30 people or whatever or more, and we're all into it, really, and it's just like we all get it. It's like a communal thing. It's like, oh my God, we laugh at the good things, we shit on the bad things, we all having a good time. And I didn't see it until we played it.
I think that's maybe why I liked it better because we watched it with like a group of people.
And we're all like, oh my God, this is like Hardware.
Yeah.
The Richard Stanley movie. And this is like this movie combined and it worked.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's like the fucking, the Rob Zombie beginning where there's like, will you please stop saying the fuck word every 2 seconds? But watching it with a bunch of fucking goofballs having a good time, it changes it. So, and it's even different from like being in the theater when you're trying to be quiet because I'm mad at some guy behind me laughing the whole time unless it's, unless we're on the same wavelength. It changes how I look at things. If I see a movie with you and I'm not uncomfortable, like we're having a good time, but if I see it with like an ex-girlfriend who just makes me feel like almost kind of ashamed of me because there's a nudity part, and I'm like, I didn't like that movie, man. I've been in that kind of relationship. It's like, oh yeah, I didn't really like that movie. And you're like, dude, you love this kind of movie. It's like, well, I didn't today.
Well, if you'd have been with that
And
woman, then,
I don't mean like it just happens.
if you'd have been with that woman during that movie, you might have been really uncomfortable during the ass eating scene.
The ass eating scene, yeah. But I'm just saying, I think it matters who you watch a movie with.
I think that is absolutely true. I think if I watched it with a big group of people, it would have been great. But me and Rachel watched it at home. She's sensitive to like flashing lights.
Oh fuck!
Hey,
Hey, he's got lasers coming out of his eyes.
Yeah, like
That was my favorite part was all the lights.
yeah, so it's flashing lights everywhere. So she's sensitive to stuff like that.
Right,
so it
right,
hurts her
right.
eyes. So she's not having a good time. I'm not having a good time.
Well,
But
yeah.
maybe
it happens.
Maybe I'll just watch it again and be like, oh, still shit.
There's so many things that you don't notice when you're with a certain person who is either sensitive. Like I have, we all have friends who are triggered by whatever. I've never noticed how many dog deaths are in the movies now. And now that I'm with somebody who's a super dog lover, like I like dogs.
Oh, yeah.
I've always had dogs, but Katie is just like, no, that was awful. Like the first Halloween, I don't even think about the dog deaths. There's 2.
DoesTheDogDie.com.
Yeah, and you brought that up, and
Yeah.
you brought that to the bar and to the where we watch movies, and you're like, hey, don't worry, everybody, there's no deaths in this movie. I'm like, no dog deaths. I'm like, oh shit. So that kind of things can affect how you watch a movie.
Well, I brought this up earlier where I was talking about Studio 666, but like the more I think about it, I still think that's probably one of my favorite movies this year because they made that movie and you can tell that they have a love for those old 80s heavy metal horror movies because they sat down and wrote an entire soundtrack for the movie. And it's not bad. And I hate all metal. Because I'm known as the guy who doesn't like anything. But but they wrote a pretty good soundtrack for it. And it's like definitely like a love letter to all those old like Black Roses, stuff like that. It's Possessed. It's funny. There's a lot of parts where like Dave Grohl's like he has like writer's block. And he's like, hey, everybody come in here. I got this riff I just came up with. And he's like, starts playing the riff from like Everlong. And it's like, dun, 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 dun. And they're like, that's Everlong. And they're like, and he's just like, God damn it. He's like, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, you're Metallica now.
Yeah. But they get it. They're in on the joke. I thought the movie was great. And it just, like I said, it got buried by the drummer's tragic death. But you should definitely check that out. It's real fun.
It's on my list of movies to watch. Maybe I'll open my wallet and pay more than $10 for it.
Yeah, I mean, we went to Scarefest this year. We went Horror Hound this year. We went to we do the event night at Wonderfest. I mean, it's been a busy year for us. So, let's talk about Wonderfest.
Oh yeah,
from last year. I mean, what do you guys think? What can we do different? I mean, what do you want to do this year? I know Frank Dietz actually wants to come back and show what's the other one, the Rock and Roll Nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wanna get Thor there and ask him about.
I might try to do that.
I wish you would.
I mean,
John Michael Thor there.
No disrespect, but I bet he's cheap.
Yeah.
Well, how much?
Mean, Tim Capello is cheap.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you got those two together, how much body lotion do you think they'd have between them?
They'd
You
be
have to hire an oil man.
I'll figure this out.
Oil
guys.
boy.
Grease me up.
But I mean, Wonderfest was great, man. We had a really good crowd. Frank Dietz. I mean, we had like this happened a couple of times. We had an idea what we're going to do with them, and then they just take it, and they're like, "Well, we don't have to say a fucking word."
Oh
And
yeah.
when we do, they ignore it anyways.
I'm just
He had a lot of good stories, and I was just sitting there, just like, like, yes, please talk more about
I
that.
was just rocking out because earlier in the year they showed it. They showed Black Roses on the last drive-in.
Oh yeah,
And so a lot of people were exposed to it for the first time. And I remember because Rachel had never seen it, and we're just like sitting there, and I'm just like, me against the world, just singing
Yeah,
the
it's
songs.
great, dude. The
And
whole
it's just like
soundtrack's
I would never listen to this other than the soundtrack, ever.
there are moments in that movie that are just awful, but then when you're watching it in a crowd or with the star, you just fucking love those awful moments.
And I love that he there's a scene of him in the movie drawing the like Black Roses logo on the back of the jacket, and he was like, I actually drew that.
Yeah, he's
And
a
I was like,
fantastic
yeah, he's
artist.
a great artist.
And
Yeah,
He
gave
worked
it
for
away.
Disney.
yeah.
He worked for Hercules. He worked on Hercules. He didn't work
Yeah.
for Hercules. That'd be hilarious. Throwing bolts of lightning at everybody.
Speaking of oil men,
Yeah, oh, god damn. But yeah, he wants to come back, and he sent me a message, and he commented on something I posted. But he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be back, and let's do something." I was like, "All right, we'll do it." And that was a good reminder.
that's I think it'll be fun because Wonderfest is always fun. If you've never been to Wonderfest, you should
Yeah.
go because it's a small little convention, and you're not going to spend there all weekend and have some wild party with a bunch of strangers.
No, actually, there's a private hotel party. I think I brought you guys to that room, didn't I? Like a little private hotel party, and it's like all the people who've been going to Wonderfest for like 30 something years. And you
I
walk
did not
in,
go
and
to
it's a buffet table of like Cocoa Puffs and vintage cereals and toys. And I'm not kidding; it lines the wall, and I was like, "This is gold
Well, you started that, and you were like, it's a buffet table of Coke, and I was like, what?
of Cocoa Puffs,
I was
not
like-
Coke."
I was like, man, what kind of party did I miss?
No,
30 years and running, baby.
Yeah, man, it's great, and they're like the forefathers of Gore Club of Wonderfest, and it was a privilege to be in this room. I was like, it has all the old stars that come to Wonderfest are usually an older crowd because it's like people from Lost in Space and old horror films that I give a shit about, but it doesn't attract like masses and thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And we've talked about Wonderfest a lot on this fucking podcast. So I'm not going to talk about it again. What else do we do?
I went to VHS Fest.
Yeah, man.
in Pennsylvania.
And you kind of talked about it in a Halloween episode, I think. But
I brought it up a little bit.
go into it, man.
It's my favorite thing to do of the summer now. I've been the last 2 years. I first heard about it through like the Sale of Satan podcast, and started going. I went the last 2 years. This year, I went Benny Graves from the podcast.
Sale of
His girl Sarah was there. My other friends Travis K, Justin, Tom, Jake from the area, he was there. We had a big party. A bunch of movies they played was they played Girlfriend from Hell, Satan's Storybook, Scream Dream, like just stuff you would never ever see in a fucking movie theater. And it's a lot of it, and it's all they play on VHS if they have the copy of it. I think almost everything was played on VHS on the drive-in movie theater screen. Ginger Lynn was there.
Yeah.
Old porn star, and we were all kind of hanging out drinking beer before the movie started, and she walked by, and my friend Travis was standing there, and she walked by and she was like, Tom? And he was like, what? No? She was like, have we not met before? And he was like, no, I don't think so. And she kept walking, and I was like, does she think that she did a movie with you one time? It's like,
Tom told.
I was like, next time just say yes and see where the conversation goes.
You say
See what
yes.
happens.
Yeah, I was like, remember that movie we did?
Yeah, she was in The Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. Well, she could have been an even better movie. Maybe
No
it was like-
shit.
could have been in a porn together.
She's in what's the Vice Academy movies with
yeah,
Linnea Quigley.
and that was one of they played Vice Academy there. But other than that, though, yeah, if you can ever this is a big event. Like when you go there, it's packed with people, and it's in a pretty small town. So like when they announce it, it's kind of hard to find a place to stay. I camped out the first year I went there, and basically, when I say camped out, I brought a tent and just slept in my car for 2 days because I didn't feel like setting it up.
That's hardcore, baby.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
And I basically
No, I don't.
woke up on the Sunday and just was like, and started my car and left. But Yeah, it's in Mahoning Drive-In in Lehighton, Pennsylvania. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It's in the Poconos near Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania.
Now, that's not even close to fucking like Pittsburgh or
No,
Philly.
it's like in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, someone was asking me about that because they knew that you went to it, and they were like, "Hey, where's it at?" I was like, "Dude, I don't think it's even like Evans 70. It's like it's not close to any of the things that you're thinking of. It's
Kind
like,
of close to Harrisburg, maybe.
yeah, but you're not going to hit like the landmarks of horror and then go
No.
to the Mahoney Drive-In.
No,
I mean, you
no, no.
can, I guess, if you take a couple extra days.
Yeah, but the Mahoning itself is like an old movie theater. They built it in like the 40s, and it looks the exact same. Like they still have the gigantic like projectors that you can still see there.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's really cool. And the guy who does the poster art for everything for every year, they put out a big poster. I got the poster framed and hanging up, but that's Hayden Hall, who's the guy who plays Luther Vandross in the. He does
No
this-
shit.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
the
you told me
Six
that.
Slice is what the name of their whole art collective thing is.
Which I fucking love. We posted it on the
Yeah,
page.
he posted that. He does that Luther's mid-fright snack,
Yeah.
which is like really great. But yeah, he does the artwork for the posters, and the poster artwork is amazing on there too.
Yeah, Luther, if you listen to this, I know that's not your real name, but I don't give a fuck. But we love your shit.
Yeah, it's
God, I
really
love it.
good.
Yeah, I mean they make these. You go into the what is? I think we talked about it before in the podcast, but for anybody
It's,
listening now,
It's like a throwback. Like he's like a throwback horror host with like this punk rock vibe.
yeah, it looks like it's shot on like
it's
old
all
cable
like
access.
shot on like video looking, and there's a lot of like stop motion animation that reminds me of like Pee Wee's Playhouse. Like, and then in the middle they'll play a movie, and the movie's not even the part that I'll usually fast forward to the movie because I want to see more of the stuff they do.
Yeah,
And they
Panic!
just yeah, they just
Panic!
They just have like other like real random vignettes, and they have like fake commercials for like a used car lot.
yeah,
He's like, "My wife left me. Come buy a used car." Like,
it's so good.
it is really good. And I hope they end up. I think they have another episode coming out. But yeah, God, it's amazing. They put a lot of time into that, and I really hope they keep doing it.
Yeah, it looks like an old horror host, which that's what I love. Is like he comes on, it's like a punk rock soundtrack. The intro, he's got a male person,
Yeah.
who's got like two heads, is a monster. His best friend who's in love with him is a robot.
Yeah.
It's like so many different things. There's the episode where they all get anthrax and die and melt. It's so fucking good.
Oh yeah, and they like throughout as you watch
It's like it's the Valentine's Day. No, wait, I can't remember. But
I think that they open up a thing and it's like anthrax, and like as they keep cutting back to them, it gets progressively worse looking.
Yeah. that's not
Somebody-
the Valentine's Day
He's just
episode, but
bleeding.
it's great. Yeah, and it's
All
just
right, I haven't seen this. I've
gotta watch it.
I've
It's
got to
really
watch
good.
it.
Oh, Dave, yeah.
I feel like I've missed a lot.
It's on YouTube.
yeah, it's one of those things like, oh, this is awful, but it's supposed to be awful, but fuck, it's.
I'm
gonna-
sure it'll be great.
you're either
Yeah,
gonna love it or
it's
you're gonna
really
hate it.
good.
But you're probably like us, so you'll fast forward through the movie and get to the parts where they actually made.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Pee Wee's Playhouse on acid for like, and I'm not a vampire, just dressed this way.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. So good. Oh shit. Okay, sorry. VHS Fest. Carry on, my good man.
But yeah, I can't talk about VHS Fest enough. It's one of my favorite things to go to. I've made tons of friends there.
You are going back this year.
I'm
right?
going to go back again.
Now I thought
every
about
year.
going with you one year, but it just depends on the damn date.
It's a 9.5 to 10 hour drive depending on traffic from
I
here.
sleep really well in cars, so it's okay.
It's it's good, and it's like if you just go there and camp out, it's like $30 maybe.
Yeah.
Like you just pay like a fee.
We
to
should all
camp
go,
out.
Dave.
It's
I'm in-
not expensive.
I'm in my 40s.
You
I
just
don't
got to drive
camp.
there.
Yes, we can glamp. I'll bring you a little AC.
And they play movies till like 3:00 in the morning.
Yeah, it's like full terror assault.
Yeah.
Oh well.
It's like an all night thing. They have DJs or whatever. Probably. That's how full terror
Yeah, they had
assault
bands
is.
playing like
Yeah.
before the movie start. They had this grindcore band called Traffic Death played,
Yeah.
and they had like samples in the songs from like news reports of like car accidents.
Oh shit. It's like old ministry stuff.
Yeah, I loved it, dude. It was great.
Let's see. I don't know, man. There's we did Horror Hound this year. That
Joe
was-
Bob.
Joe Bob. Well, yeah, I was not going to gloss over that at all. That was a major event for us because it's always fun to have him back. That was the second time he's come back to Louisville, and it was just easier. It's so much easier because
It was fun.
once you learn somebody and they feel comfortable with you, because they just think I'm a jackass promoter. I'm like, no, dude. I'm all about you tonight.
Yeah.
You're not going to have to worry about somebody picking you up or whatever. You're going to have to worry about food or payment or anything. I've got you. It's great.
Yeah.
And Darcy is so much fun once you get to know her.
Yeah, she was great, and yeah, I was sitting there taking pictures of everyone, and I didn't think that line was ever going to end.
Yeah,
It
and
was
I
so
didn't mean that
long.
like in a
There's so many
shitty way.
people
I
there.
meant like, you know, as a person, not as a character.
Oh yeah, she's
Because
great.
everyone has like expectations, and even the first time it was like, how do I address you? Is this your real name? Which one? You know,
Yeah.
Once you're past that, it's just like, hey, what's up? Let's go pick up. And she was like, I just flew in on Spirit. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was not my fault.
Yeah, she was great. I got to stand there and kind of hang out with them all night because I was taking everybody's picture with them.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing that somebody did was they brought a copy of Casino on VHS that he had a very small part in with Robert De Niro.
Oh yeah.
And like he acted like nobody had ever heard of that movie, and he was like, you know, they still play this on TV every once in a while. And I'm like, yes, it was directed by Martin Scorsese. You were in a scene with Robert De Niro. That's a big deal. And he was just kind of glossing over it.
Fucking
I'm like,
Don Rickles.
I'm like, dude, you did something that very few people have ever got to do.
He get kicked out of a casino and
Yeah.
got fired by Robert De Niro.
Yeah, you were directed by Martin Scorsese.
But that's how grounded they are as real people.
yeah,
It's great.
and I was like, you don't have to be that humble.
Yeah, my partner at the time took him to fucking Arby's. He just was like, "Hey, cool." And I gave him like, here's the funny thing, because this is a real story. So I give him a per diem for food and stuff when they get here, and my friend Chris drove him like to get him some food. He's like, "Hey, where do you want to go?" And he's like, "Obviously Cracker Barrel, haha." But he took him to Arby's, and he's like, "Okay, cool." And then Chris looked over when it was time to get paid, to pay him, and Joe Bob, whatever, is looking at him like, okay. And he's like, Steve just gave you, oh, fuck, okay. And I thought that was fucking smooth criminal shit right there, dude. That's great. I just gave you $300 for food per diem, but my assistant is going to pay for your food.
Yeah.
Knight Rider, baby. That's some cool shit.
God damn it.
That's true. I was like, oh, I love that story.
Oh, but that was a fun event. I enjoyed it. I was hustling merch.
Yeah, you were.
I was getting people to buy the VHS tapes they had.
They sold a bunch of those. I was
They
surprised.
sold almost all of them.
Yeah.
And they had $100 on each of them. And I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, that's why he makes all his money off the merch. I mean, God, he sold so much shit, and a
sold
lot
a
of that
bunch.
stuff's like one of a kind. I know he's got copies of it, but like you can only get it from him.
Yeah. And there was a bunch of people that brought in his old books that are out of print because they had the Joe Bob Goes to the Movies. Like, so many people brought that in there to get signed. And, like, I looked it up, and I was like, I should probably try to get that book. And it was like, I found some on eBay going for, like, $50 at the cheapest.
Yeah.
I was like, well, shit. That's like, put these back in print.
We did Scarefest.
Scarefest, that was fun.
That was a day event. Yes.
Yeah,
saw-
that was interesting.
I saw D. Wallace there.
Yeah.
I was like, D. Wallace. Robert Patrick, saw him.
Robert England's line, apparently they took really good care of everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they had it really organized this year. So that was good.
Yeah. I bought a copy of Necromantic 1 and 2 on DVD, which I just recently watched the first one.
Yeah.
That was my first time watching it.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
Yeah,
I was
never
like,
watched them. And shoo, boy, that
was an interesting one.
it was more goofy than I thought. And then, you get to the end of it, and I'm just like, shoo, that's a lot of cum. like that was a lot.
Man,
that should be with a coffin and
that should be a tagline on the film box.
Shoo.
That's a lot of cum.
That's a lot of cum.
And people try to like
And print it.
I know people who like have been like, oh, those movies aren't anything anymore because they've been ripped off and there's so much that's come after. But you still watch those first movies, and that first
Yeah.
one, man, holy shit.
Yeah, I was just sitting there. I was like, man, it's like,
Perfect date night.
yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like, it's a
yeah.
dead body, and it's kind of low budget, but like it's still like unnerving to watch that. But it's still really goofy too.
Yeah.
But
The whole movie is.
now I got to watch part 2.
Yeah, you got to watch part 2.
Haven't
It
seen
only
it.
gets worse.
Oh yeah, it does. Back then when those movies came out, I was really into shot on video. There was a whole our friend Richter and I would sit in his basement and just drink and watch these all find anything we could. Like back then it was VHS trading.
Yeah,
So he would get a shipment in and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know. It's called Schizophreniac, which is a real movie.
yeah,
And it's I don't know how they got the naked people to do that they did. And I was like, what? Now, nobody always getting paid to do this, but these people are not ugly. And it's
Yeah.
just violent and blood and just bad acting. And people are just running around the city half naked. I'm like, I love these movies.
yeah,
And now when I go back to watch them, I'm like, how the hell did I sit through this?
yeah,
So I was really interested to see how you were going to be with Necromantic.
yeah. I might watch it
Necromaniac.
again. Necromaniac.
Necromaniac.
But I got a copy of that, and I got a copy of The Keep, which is out
Oh.
of print.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that movie's excellent.
It is excellent.
Got that Tangerine Dream on there. It's
People
good.
always want me to play that, and I'm like, it's not a party movie.
No, it's
That's a movie you watch.
yeah, it's real somber. You watch it. I mean, it's like Nazis and stuff. but
Say that again. It's just real somber Nazis.
Nazis.
And stuff.
Nothing
Well-
to celebrate here.
well, I mean, you're like watching it. I mean, you're not gonna be like, "Yay, Nazis!" But it's like you're bummed out watching it. I mean, it's not something you watch and have like a party to. you
Yeah,
know?
it's like Ian McKellen and who else is in that?
Ian McKellen's great.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything.
And
Yeah, that's
everything,
true.
yeah. And it's weird seeing him kind of young-ish in that movie.
Mhm.
And the soundtrack's great. It just sucks that the director like thinks that he just hates the movie so much.
Is it Michael Mann?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And like I think it he hated it so much and it wasn't that successful. He just went back to TV, which then he started doing
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice after that.
Yeah, he did the first Hannibal Lecter movie, Manhunter. which
Manhunter.
is
That
fucking
movie's fucking great.
Yeah, but it did not do well.
Yeah.
It just didn't.
I think those two movies he just went back to TV after that.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh.
Back to the present.
Back to the present, Dave.
Back to the present.
What do you got?
Are there any other movies that you all really dug from this year? I've got one if you want to talk.
Please do it.
Deadstream.
I didn't see that.
Deadstream.
Surprise! I
heard
didn't see it.
At first, I was like, I'm not gonna like this because I don't like found footage movies. It's about this douchey guy that he gets canceled off the internet, and he decides to go stay in this haunted house all night by himself, so he can get his followers back as an apology.
Oh,
And it starts out spooky and then immediately turns into Evil Dead 2.
I don't know. You're kind of selling this for me. It sounds
No.
kinda good.
I was actually really surprised because when I watched it, I didn't expect anything because, like I said, I don't like found footage movies. It was amazing. It was fun.
I do. I
It was
love
super
found
fun.
footage movies.
If you love found footage movies, watch Deadstream.
I
It's
do
on-
like
now I
them.
need to
I
watch
like
this
them.
now.
I
It's
like them
on
because
Shudder.
people complain about jump scares now in the last 10 years, but that's because I love jump scares. Like I like being like it's coming, oh shit, there it is, and that's why Barbarian worked for me because I mean
Yeah.
it's a jump scare movie, but it's got mood. But yeah, I think I'll probably like that movie.
Yeah, you should watch it because, like I said, it's very serious and then it's just not.
I like that.
That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
You should send me a link to that
And
so I
it's,
remember.
it's on Shudder. It was fun. I think it's a Shudder original. So
I made some notes because I forgot that I made notes on my phone for this episode.
What kind of notes?
And one of the
Steve?
things is like, well, I watched the Renfield trailer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Anything with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, it looks
It
crazy.
looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. And we've been following it for a while, and now they finally put the trailer out, and I'm like, this is gonna be fucking great. What's the guy who's actually Renfield? I forget his name. Is it
Oh, the Beast.
what?
Didn't he play
Beast.
Beast? Didn't he played Beast in the X-Men movies, right?
Oh,
That was
that's
him,
right. Yeah, yeah. Is it
Yeah.
Nicholas Rowe or whatever?
I'll find out. Hold on. You just keep talking.
Well, anyways, yeah, because they haven't really, they just kept that under wraps. That you see like the leaked pictures of him looking at his hands.
Yeah.
And people would make
Nicholas Hoult.
How that's what it is. Okay, totally different person. And nobody. I was just like biting at the bit. I'm like, what? Give me some more. Give me. And
Yeah.
they finally released like a teaser, and then they released the fucking trailer, and I was like, oh, I am so into this movie. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
And
There's
then- what?
There's another movie coming out called Megan. And
Oh, that looks really cool.
Yeah, with the like doll or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a state of the art like artificial intelligence doll, like Chucky, except in the modern day, I guess, and it's a girl.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen people like, some of my friends were like, oh, it's just ripping off Chucky, but it's a chick. And I'm like, this looks way more crazy.
It says it's based on a story by Keela Cooper and James Wan. So
I like James Wan.
James Wan.
Did
It
somebody-
could be
yeah, it's
insane. I don't
Yeah,
know.
did somebody
Good.
tell him no this time?
Good or bad, he's always trying to do something different.
Yeah,
He is.
I know
I
you,
just-
you did not like Malignant. I remember that.
I just hope it's going to be, could be malignant levels of insane.
Just somebody, when he says something stupid like, I think we're going to do this, somebody would be like, no, James. No, we're not doing that.
Oh, man.
There's so many good movies coming out this year. Cocaine Bear.
Yeah, right here from Kentucky.
Oh, yeah.
You can go see the actual bear.
Yeah,
You
it's in
can see the
They've got
co-
it all
yes.
stuffed up and ready to go.
Yes, and that was didn't Elizabeth Shue? Didn't she direct that too?
Or Elizabeth Banks.
Or Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth
Banks.
Shue,
Wrong
fucking
one.
Adventures of
Wrong one.
Babysitting,
Yeah.
is directing this movie.
Elizabeth Banks did it.
Same thing.
Which that kicks ass.
Yeah, and I think at first I thought it was going to be based on the whole like bluegrass conspiracy story, but I think it's mainly just the bear part.
It's just about the bear.
And I was like, oh, so it's just going to be like the exploits of the bear after he gets the cocaine.
On acid or on cocaine because
Yeah.
it looks like balls to the wall, like an action gory movie.
Yeah,
It does. There's that. There's the new
In-
Scream.
new Scream.
Yeah, the Scream's coming out, yeah.
Infinity Pool, which I just recently saw, which is Brandon Cronenberg.
Yeah, if you like Possessor,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you're gonna
it's,
like this apparently.
More
yeah.
body horror.
It's fine with me. I miss
yeah.
I miss old Cronenberg's body horror because Crimes of the Future was okay. It was okay.
Still haven't watched that.
It was okay.
That's why I keep hearing okay about it. That's why
I mean,
was like,
it's
yeah.
not. He doesn't make bad movies, but like Spider. Did you like Spider? Do you remember that movie? It was like right before he started making like History of Violence and those kind of films, where it's
Yeah.
more like I'm done with what I've been doing for the last decade and a half or whatever, and this is going to be more psychological. And it was okay. It was
Yeah.
good. It was creepy, but when you're going as a horror fan, you're like,
Yeah.
this isn't a horror movie. So, and of course, they're going to direct that to you because they're trying to find his audience now that he's
Yeah.
not making horror movies. It's tough.
Yeah,
And I think that's
like,
why it's getting some like, it's okay. But people who aren't horror fans who like it, like it.
Yeah, I like History of Violence and
makes
Eastern
sense.
Promises.
Yeah.
but,
Great.
Oh,
that's
yeah, yeah.
what
But once you got on board with what he was doing after like History of Violence, which I love
Yeah.
History of Violence, you were like, oh, okay, this is good.
yeah,
No, I actually wrote one of my notes was like, I've been binge watching the original Fantasy Island, the television show, not the movie. And it's like I forgot because like there's one episode where Yvonne DiCarlo is in like the sex ring. She's a madam of a sex ring. Adrienne Barbeau is like tricks Tim Thomerson into like there's all kinds. There's so many.
Thomerson.
Here's the thing I've noticed: like when I go back and watch these old shows that I grew up on, like Murder She Wrote or Columbo, they're just packed full of horror stars,
yeah,
crazy packed. And that was it when I went back and started watching Fantasy Island. It was like because it's a magical kind of dark show,
yeah,
and they never really explain how it's done. They did try to do that in the prequel movie, like it's a magic island. In the show, like Roddy McDowall is the devil,
Yeah.
and then you've got Ricardo Montalban is you don't know who he is, but he's he's Mr. Rourke.
yeah.
But I went going back and I was like, holy shit, there's so many fucking horror actors in this show. It's great.
I realized that about Sid Haig because I was watching.
Oh, he's
movie.
in so much stuff.
I was watching a movie, this old '70s movie called Busting, and it was just like generic busting. It was busting, but it was like generic cop drama. And I was watching it because they're covering it on that Quentin Tarantino podcast, the Video
Oh,
Archives.
nice.
So I was watching that, and then all of a sudden in the middle of it, like Sid Haig shows up, and he's like this pimp's like right hand man, and like I went through and I was like I'm just randomly looking up like what did he do like in between these weird years where it was like after his like jungle movies with Pam Grier and like before Devil's Rejects,
Yeah.
and all that, and it was just like tons of like TV shows.
Yeah, he's
where
in
he was
Buck
just on, like,
Rogers. He did
every
he
TV
actually
show
did
in
a
the
Fantasy
80s.
Island movie.
Yeah,
Episode. I don't know. One of my notes is that let's see. John Saxon falls in love with a mermaid on the Fantasy Island, which I wish they would have edited because as I watched that episode, you could see his Jack's dong because his shorts are a little too see through. I was like, oh, just saw his Jack's dong.
sex done.
Yeah, it's not good. But yeah,
You can see the line on his toupee.
that's what I did because I got sick this last week and I just started binge watching all that shit. Jason Leigh Howden's Deathgasm comic book came out.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
I actually picked up the Monsters of Metal
Yeah, good.
comic. Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, cool.
It was good. It was good. I haven't seen the Deathgasm comics.
It just came out this week.
Oh, okay. Well, it just came out this week.
Yeah, he tagged the Gore Club podcast because we had him as a guest this last year, and when it got released. So thank you, Jason. Fuck it, I'm excited. I looked through some of the pages. You can find them online.
Yeah,
But I'm going to order it. I'm excited.
You should.
yeah, look cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Are we excited for 2023?
No,
Shit.
it's already started off to a bad year. Bad year, right?
Well, Corey, our producer, lost a family member. Poor baby.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, as a pet, but still family.
Way to bring it down. I was going to be like Jeremy Renner got hit by a snowmobile.
Yeah, I was going to, I mean,
you just-
personally,
I'm glad I can make you laugh, Corey.
God damn.
But yeah, this is
He got hit by his own snowplow, by the way.
snowplow. Yeah, Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, shit, that sucks. Wait, it was his? Like, him?
Yeah, how does that happen?
He ran himself over
God.
with a snowplow.
Jeez.
I didn't know that's what he did for like a side job.
Oh, wait, you don't want to talk about Insidious 5 coming out?
Hey, but speaking of sequels, there's supposed to be the third Ty West film, the Maxine movie.
Oh, yeah, Maxine.
That's
I forgot
either
about that.
this year or the end of the beginning of next year. But this year's going to be a good year for movies, I think. I think even though we've got like some weird remakes and like weird sequels, like that aren't horror, like Indiana Jones 5 or whatever they're going to put out.
The Last Voyage of the Demeter or
really
Demeter.
I didn't even watch that trailer because I'm just like, he's like 80 years. He's older than his dad was when Sean Connery played his dad.
Yeah.
Junior.
Yeah. I'm just like, how is that going to work?
Got that new shitty Winnie the Pooh movie. It looks awful.
Blood and Honey.
It looks bad, man.
Hey, I mean,
But it's a cash grab. The property's now in the public domain, so now you and I can make a movie and call it Winnie the Pooh. I mean, not for the cartoon, but the story itself. And
the A.A. Milne story.
yeah, it looks bad. Like, did anybody see the mean one? The Grinch horror film?
oh yeah. I saw something about that, but figured
That
that
means
was
no.
That's like everything is turning into like Saturday Night Live did that sketch with the guy from who was in Violent Night where he plays like Oscar the Grouch.
Oh yeah.
Where he's like a horror. It's like a horror movie. It's like the joke. It's kind of like the Joker movie, except he's like Oscar the Grouch, and he's like, "How are you feeling?" And he's like, "Grouchy."
Grouchy.
But like, there's so many movies that come out now that like that joke of a fake movie trailer is becoming a reality now, where they're like, Winnie the Pooh horror movie coming out this summer. Like,
Yeah, I mean, people were jumping on it. I don't know what has become public domain this year. I didn't do my research.
Oh, I do because I do those movie nights at Caulfield's Novelty, and we have to show public domain movies because we charge a door and they get a percentage off their all Halloween purchases.
oh yeah.
So I'm always up to date on what is public domain, like Sherlock Holmes, all the Sherlock
Oh,
Holmes.
I
are
just
like,
I
things
just
like
saw that today. Sherlock Holmes.
Nothing really good.
Yeah.
Metropolis. Oh yeah, Mickey Mouse is up this year.
Yeah, Mickey Mouse. I did
I
forget.
can't wait for fucking
I forgot about Metropolis.
Blood and Cheese.
Oh my god.
Apparently, there's a Saw 10 coming out. Does anybody care about that?
I haven't cared about that since Saw.
Here's
2.
the thing. I want to go back and revisit a lot of franchises that I blew off. Like, just said, fuck this. I'm done with, like, the Saw movies, for example. I went to the theater to see Spiral, and I just left because the guy behind me, I was going to knock him out because he kept trying to kick my back of my chair, and I was like, I got to go. True story.
You got to start going to the movies during the day.
I do. I just happened to be that one time, and I went against my own rules, which I sat in the middle of the theater instead of the very, very back.
You just need to stop going to the movies by yourself, Steve. God.
I was with my girlfriend,
Fucking
and he started
trouble.
with hers, and then he decided to go to mine. I was like, I'm taking a break in the bathroom, and I'll come back, and I'll sit right next to him. I'll talk to him, and that's what I did. And I got right in his face. I was like, are we doing this? Because you're fucking with the wrong dude.
We're gonna have to have like a side stories, Gore Club side stories, Steve's adventures at the movie
Oh
theater.
man! Please, if you see me in the movie theater, don't fuck with me because I will not.
There's another Ghostbusters
I
sequel
will
coming
cry.
out.
No.
Yes.
Ghostbusters 5,
It's
tentatively titled.
it's canon that they dumped that other one.
Yeah.
The one with the all women cast that was horrible, not because of their gender, because it was a bad movie.
There's a documentary called Living with Chucky.
Living with Chucky.
Yep, a full-blown Child's Play documentary that celebrates the entire franchise. That sounds cool.
I mean, there's a lot of good stuff coming out this year,
Black Demon.
but who knows? It could be awful. But everything you're reading, everything we're looking up on the internet. That's just what we know of now.
Speculative.
And it could all get pushed back.
It can get pushed back, or we could have another, like out of the nowhere Terrifier 2, which I think they're making another one of those.
Well,
We'll
if history is correct, when you think of movies that were hits and what happened to horror at that time, you're probably going to see a lot more in the years to come, extreme horror movies that are over the top just because of Terrifier being so successful. Because people see dollar signs and they're like, "Oh, the public is into this now." Just everybody they're just gonna start handing out money.
Yeah, Universal's going to be like, cut that bitch in half.
Yeah, it's like we need to make these more violent. Just
Oh shit!
it's just like when Pulp Fiction was big and all these old directors started coming back and trying to like Tarantino their movies.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird, and like we're gonna be like living in opposite world where you turn in your dailies and they're gonna be like not violent enough. Go back,
Yeah.
do it again.
Make it more violent.
Which is really weird how we're going from one extreme to the other, but that's just how the pendulum swings.
That had
baby.
was Saw. I mean, the original Saw did that. That was so big, and then you got like Hostel and all, and everything was just like torture
Yeah.
porn for like 5 years.
Well, I think that House of a Thousand Corpses kind of helped start that.
Yeah,
There was like, what the? Because nobody wanted to release it, and then when they released, they made a bunch of money. They're like, oh, okay, I guess people do want to see this.
Word
awful
of mouth
shit.
also helped that.
Yeah.
So if Terrifier made a bunch of money, Terrifier 2, you're probably going to see a bunch of really violent movies come out in the next few years.
Can't wait for Indiana Jones now.
Oh,
Ghostbusters is gonna be great.
Yeah. What year is that Indiana Jones movie supposed to take place? Like the 60s? Is he going to be fighting hippies in that movie? Like
I am excited. That's fucking great.
the
Please
last
tell
one
me.
was the 50s.
I
It
am-
started out in like the 30s and 40s. He's like 60 now. Like,
Christ, I can't. I can kind of try to keep it together, Ace. You're fucking me up. Oh my god. I just don't want it to be awful. I barely liked The Last Crusade, and everyone loves that movie. I know, I get it, but for me, it lightened it up so much that it just wasn't even compared to the first two films. Like you
Yeah.
got Raiders, and you got Temple of Doom, and then you got Let's Go Fun, and like, god
Yeah.
damn it, why did you just Gremlins to my movie?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I know people love that
You
movie.
chose wisely.
Okay, fine.
Junior.
Junior, we named the dog. I mean, there's so many fucking jokes. So by the time the Crystal Skull came out, you fucking deserve that, you stupid fucking fans.
Yeah.
You asked for that shit. So I'm excited for the new Salem's Lot movie, and I know some
Oh
of you.
yeah, that's forgot that
That's
was
been
coming out
pushed
too.
back and pushed back. That got Terrifier 2'd because it's like, when is this coming out? They haven't even released a fucking trailer, really.
They're not doing it. They just-
God damn, Dave.
they
Don't
just put
hurt
it up,
my feelings.
They just put it up on the internet like fuck Steve. Salem's Lot.
The picture,
I'm a big
the picture
fan.
just has like a
Yeah, it's just Barlow.
It's just him from the first
old
movie.
Barlow.
Are you on the Bloody Disgusting site?
TBD. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet, because I've got all these different tabs pulled up.
Yeah, so it may happen. I mean,
It's filmed. They just need to release the fucker. Release the bats.
It's filmed already?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
they probably
It
watched
had an
it.
August release date originally.
And that's the
August
third-
of last year.
Third remake?
This will be the second remake.
There was like Salem's Lot,
There's
a Return to Salem's Lot,
and then
TNT Salem's Lot,
yep, and then this one.
and then this one. Yeah.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't end up like The Stand, where people are really excited for it. It comes out and it's just like nothing because they didn't.
Yeah.
Like the Stand remake.
I watched The Stand. Was that last year? Time is
See,
like,
it's been a while
time
and
is a
nobody
flat
remembers
circle.
because it wasn't great.
I watched all 10 episodes of that and like just have very few memories of it.
Yeah.
And it was just like, ugh.
You picked the wrong guy to play Flag, in my opinion. That's just my opinion.
I
And
think
I
that was-
like that actor.
those-
Skarsgård. He's a Skarsgård.
Yeah.
He plays in True Blood, and yeah.
he like well they were like back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's not like a linear story.
That was the thing that was a big fucking problem.
Yeah, I don't like that. And the book wasn't written that way.
Tarantino did.
Like you don't have to write it like the book, but the book wasn't written that way.
I
And
didn't.
it
watch
doesn't make any sense.
You didn't miss much, Dave. It was very confusing, and the editing was, like he said, like you're following different timelines, but they just jumped. They jumped like, okay, you meet the characters, then you met their story, then you go back ahead of where they were, and then you go back. It's like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
You're meeting people before you meet. You're like, who's this person? And then there's somebody like, who is this person? Like, oh wait, now we're gonna go back and tell you who they are. And you're like, oh,
I guess
God.
it's supposed to be like creative storytelling, but I didn't dig it. Maybe I'm old.
that was bad.
Okay.
I think that was a massive complaint about that.
So, is there anything that you are excited besides what we've already talked about? Evil Dead Rise, Renfield.
Maxine.
Yeah. Say Maxine.
Maxine. That's the
Maxine.
Pearl sequel.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. Probably.
I'm just excited for whatever comes out, and to see that horror movies are becoming more of a mainstay at big studios, and they're starting to push them out is good. I'm happy with that.
I had planned to go to the Pasadena Halloween event that they just announced. We talked about it almost last August. A friend of ours who actually had on the podcast talking about the Halloween Kills episode, his friends are the ones who do that convention for Horror Hound out there. So he already knew what was happening before they even announced anything. They just announced it. It's the whatever 45 or 50th year of Halloween. So it's going to be like the Halloween convention in Pasadena, and I really plan to go to that. And then I've got a massive event that weekend.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm doing a heavy metal / punk rock fall festival with a lot. It's going to be, I mean, Ace is going to be part of it. You're going to be part of it, hopefully. It's going to be massive, and it's going to be that fucking weekend. And I was like, fuck, we were getting ready to get our plane tickets.
Well, shit.
Well,
Yeah, it's Plunder over Louisville too. So
Electric
I just
Boogaloo.
completely selflessly plugged my. That was not my intention, but I plan to go to that Halloween event. I was looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Horror Hound in March.
Yes.
Joe Bob's going to be there. That's going to be cool.
And the Lexington Horror Fest, Scare Fest, isn't it?
Oh, they just announced Scarefest again for next year or this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I
in
mean everyone's
October.
announcing now because they've gotten to the point where now they have to just tease, and then it comes out. So I'm excited for this year. Horror's going to be awesome. It's going to be even more oversaturated, which is fine with me.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's fine. I'm curious if so we had a lot of like actors and horror people die.
Are we going to do that again? Remember that
gonna-
episode? That was like a
that
it was such a bummer. But you can
well, no,
you can touch on it.
The most recent was Ruggero Deodato. So I really hope at the Academy Awards they show a cannibal Holocaust in his honor.
You think they're going to
It's like
completely
his
gloss
face
over
and
it.
like the guy biting into the muskrat.
Oh man, yeah, that was a big loss. And you saw people all over the horror realm, there's a realm, either being like, "Oh yeah," or "Fuck him." I'm like, man, he broke
Yeah.
grounds, and what he was trying to tell you, he may not have done it the way that it should have been done, but he
Yeah.
was one of the first people, one, to make a mockumentary,
Yeah.
a horror mockumentary, and then two, to talk about animal rights, even though he did it in the most fucked up way that
Yeah.
you could possibly do it, by killing them.
Yeah.
And I was like, I see what you're trying to say, but why couldn't you use spaghetti?
Yeah.
Couldn't you just put some putty? Oh man, woof.
Anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
Thanks,
about that.
Dave.
I just want to make a joke
You're gonna
about
end
the
this on
Academy
fucking
Awards.
animal violence.
All right, sorry. Yeah, the year's going to be great, or it's going to be not great. But either way, we get a lot of schlock to watch. We'll get movies that are going to be good, bad, and it'll be fun.
It'll be fun.
It'll
We'll be
fun,
there.
and I'll catch up on the other movies that I forgot to watch this year.
By 2024,
Yeah.
I'll watch all the movies from 2022.
Maybe I'll watch Mad God at least by
I
then.
finally watched Nope.
Yeah, right.
All
All right, well,
I'll
fuck.
watch
That was a good episode, guys. Thanks for coming in. I miss you guys. Happy New Year. Happy
Yes.
holidays. All that crap.
Happy New Fear.
New fear.
Ah, fucking
Get it?
done.
Yeah, I'm actually going to that party. Anyways, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Bye. Before I
Get
say
us
bye,
outta here,
I should
Dave.
say thank you for everybody listening. You can find us where you're listening to us now on Anchor.
Do not subscribe. Do not like.
Anchor FM, Breaker, Google Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Castbox, Verbal.com. We are on YouTube, Facebook. And yeah. So find us, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.
Or don't.
Bye.
Yay.
Digga, 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 digga.